Good afternoon. This is Cleo Childress, and welcome back to Financially Free with Cleo podcast, which is a show to help you live financially free in your own way. It is Money Mindset Thursdays, which is the live edition of the show. And I had a little laugh because someone reminded me that I was late. It is 12:03, so technically I am late, but we are here. And I just wanted to have a quick conversation about mental health and, of course, how mental health is related to your money. And I know this week and all last week we have had some heavy conversations about suicide and about mental health, especially with the recent news of a few people who have passed away recently due to suicide. And I know it's not an easy conversation to talk about, but we have to talk about it. We have to think about it. And I know it's not something that, I know when I was growing up, I didn't really hear a lot of conversations about suicide. It probably wasn't until I became a teenager that I was really understanding what suicide is, why people really do it. And I think sometimes when we see certain people that do commit suicide, we sometimes wonder why, especially on the outside, if their life looks like it's, almost perfect. We wonder, well, what could they have been struggling with for them to go that route? And a lot of times when I hear news about people committing suicide, and I don't know, maybe it's because I watch a lot of crime shows, I don't know, but my usual first question is like, did they really commit suicide? Did somebody kill them and make it look like a suicide? I know that's something that people may not want to think about, but there are a lot of ways to hurt someone and make it look like they killed themselves. Now, there are times where people really did commit suicide. But, if you have those situations where the authorities, the families, they did a thorough investigation and they confirmed that this person actually committed suicide, then it makes you wonder, okay, well, what can the rest of us do going forward to make sure that if we're struggling with something, what we can do to push through those challenges? I know me, myself, there's been a few times in my lifetime that I've thought about committing suicide. And sometimes when you hear yourself say that out loud, it sounds unreal. Like, you kind of wonder, would you really go through with it? I know for me, I was struggling with money. Money is at the top of the list when it comes to people being sad and depressed. And if there's any technical difficulties, I do apologize. I had a little pop-up message, but anywho, carry on. If there's any times where you are feeling sad and depressed and you are feeling overwhelmed and you just don't know what to do, sometimes, I know some people say committing suicide is selfish. You leave behind friends and family members that love you and that care for you that are now grieving and struggling because you're gone. But sometimes you really never will get it until you've been there before, because a lot of us feel like that the world will probably be a better place without us there. Other things that go through the mind of someone who wants to commit suicide or who's thinking about it, you're probably thinking that, life would be better because, maybe you have a life insurance policy and you're like, you know what, I want to leave behind this money for some family members to help them, even though a lot of policies are not going to pay out if they know you committed suicide. But I'm just saying, sometimes these are just thoughts that usually go through people's head. Maybe I'm better off gone. Or you may think that nobody loves you, nobody cares about you. You may think that people don't care, because a lot of times we think, well, when someone passes away, now everybody's commenting on their page or saying, oh, they just talked to them last week or just seen them last week, or I was just about to call them, or I was just thinking about them. But it's not till after they pass away, then you're wondering, oh, I wish they would have talked to me. I wish they would have come to me for help. But we have to do a lot of more checking in while people are here. One of my good friends called me yesterday and just asked how I was doing. And of course, I was just buried in my laptop working, but it felt good for a friend to check on you. And I know that's something that I know I need to do as well. I can tend to be real busy in work, right? But we all have to make sure that we are checking in with our friends and our family members, the ones that are really close to us, the ones that we know that are down for us, love and care for us. We got to check on each other. And when we do check on each other, we have to be honest and say how things are really going. You don't have to put on this, fake front and say it's all good when it's not. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not really having a good day right now. Or this week is a mess and this is what I'm struggling with. Even if that person can't really help, it can feel good to at least just get it out. If you just keep holding it in, it's just gonna fester and it's gonna grow deeper and bigger, and you're just gonna have even more problems. You're gonna become even more frustrated. You're gonna become even more stressed. You're gonna have pain throughout your body. You're gonna get headaches, back aches, your hips is gonna hurt, getting sore in different places. Stress really does cause internal problems, mentally and physically. So it's really important to talk to someone about it. And you have to start with someone you trust. Just find one person to have a conversation with, even if you're not looking for advice or feedback, but to vent. Sometimes we underestimate just venting, just getting something out. That feels good. That's therapeutic, actually getting the words out instead of just holding it all in, because holding it in just creates even more problems. So there's so many different reasons why people would think about committing suicide, but I do know that money, just working with clients in the past, and even my own personal money journey, that money can give you all these types of triggers to feel like it's better to just leave Earth, because you feel like your mountain of debt is so high, or your collections, or you just feel like you're not making enough money, or maybe you're trying to get a new job, or you struggling at a job that you hate and you just feel like you can't find another good job, and you just feel overwhelmed, maybe managing being a mother or a father, or maybe you're managing being a husband or a wife, and you're taking care of people in your family. Like, it can be a whole lot of stuff that will cause you to be overwhelmed and just want to leave. So when I hear about someone committing suicide or thinking about it, I'm not judging, because I've been there. I'm not picking you apart or criticizing you or anything like that, because we have no idea the burden that a lot of us are dealing with. But one thing that I remind myself is that people have pushed through and overcame those challenges. So whenever I find myself struggling, I'll cry, I'll sit in, in my feelings, and I'll think about what I'm going through. But then I always remind myself that, Cleo, I know there is more to my life. I'm still here breathing, so I must still be here for a reason, right? And we don't want to, take ourselves away from this world if we still have a purpose to be here. And I feel like if I am struggling with something, and I know someone else out there has struggled with something similar and they got through it, I know I can too. We may not get through it in the same way that somebody else has went through it or overcame it, but I know we can get through it. It's just way too many opportunities and resources out here. So I just want to encourage you to just take a moment and breathe and relax and just know that it's going to be okay. And I know it's hard to think that it's going to be okay, especially when you're sitting in some hot mess situations. It's hard to see that something can be different, bigger, or better. But I'm here to tell you, I've pushed through a lot of stuff, and there are times where I just knew it wasn't going to work out, or I knew my situation wasn't going to change. But it was the mind. It's all in the mind. Like, whatever we think and feel inside our minds, that's what our reality is. If you're wondering why you're still struggling with something, if you wonder why things are still the same and you want things to change, ask yourself, what have you been thinking about the last several days? Just think about the last week. What has been on your mind? What have you been thinking about? What have you been feeling? Have you been acknowledging your feelings? Have you been sitting in them and understand why are you feeling this way? Are you in denial about anything that's going on? Like, you really have to ask yourself some serious questions and dig a whole lot deeper in order to move forward, from those challenges. Because we can't fix something if we don't feel like we have a problem, or if we don't feel like it's a big problem. So I just want to share 4 things that I want you to do if you are someone who is struggling with anything in life, especially money. But if you are struggling living paycheck to paycheck, if you are struggling with, trying to make more money, if you're struggling and you feel overwhelmed with debt payments, if you are struggling with anything financially, I want to give you these 4 super quick, easy things that you can do starting today that's going to help you start that process to feel better about what you've been through, because you went through it for a reason. Even though, like when I struggled with money, I used to say, why me? Why couldn't I be a better woman with my money, a better mother with my money? Why couldn't I have read a lot of books earlier in my adult life? Why couldn't I have hired a professional to help me a long time ago? Or why couldn't I just change my habits so I could be better, at my current age? I used to really be so hard on myself. But then I realized I went through it for a reason. Yes, I felt like they were financial mistakes, but the lesson from what you learn from those experiences is so big that's going to help you in the next thing that's going to just blow up and change your life. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that when you're wondering why me, or why can't my situation change, just know you went through it for a reason, but use what you're learning from it to move forward. So the first thing I want you to do if you are struggling mentally, physically, financially, first thing is do something fun. And this is something healthy, not something that's gonna just tear down even more, but something that you enjoy. Like, what do you like to do for fun? Like, what makes you smile? What makes you laugh? Like, just take a break and do something fun. It could be for an hour, it could just be for a day, but just find something to do that just makes you feel good and gives you joy and that's fun to you. I know for me, I love to watch scary movies. That's fun for me. I love to do, fitness. Like, I love to do yoga. I love to work out. That's fun for me, even though sometimes it can be challenging, but it's fun because it's like you're getting out this energy, you're putting in this work because you want to reach a fitness goal. What else do you like to do? Do you like to go to brunch with your friends? Maybe that's what you like to do. We all like to eat, right? So maybe you just want to go out with some friends and go out to brunch or breakfast or go to dinner. Maybe you like to go bowling. It could be some simple, basic stuff. And what I've realized is that sometimes the simplest things can be the most fun. Maybe you want to go to karaoke. Maybe you want to have a game night with your friends. Maybe you want to go to a concert. Whatever it is, just find something fun just to kind of release and just take a moment and step away from all of the negative thoughts that you've been having. Because we have to take breaks. Just like you go to work every day and you take a break. You take your little 10 or 15-minute break at work, or you take your hour lunch break. We have to take a break from life. We have to take a break, even if it's just a little 30 minutes, just walk away, step away, do something. Or if it's for an hour, half a day, even if it's for the whole weekend, just do something fun for you, whether if you're doing it solo or with some friends or family members, so you can just take a break and just relax. The second thing I want you to do is call, not text. Not DM, not message, but I want you to FaceTime or call, a phone call, and talk to a friend, just to vent and get it out. Let them know what's going on in your life. Like, true friends, they're gonna make time for you to listen, to understand how you're feeling, what you're going through. So find that one person and call them today. Y'all don't have to talk on the phone for hours, but I know me, when I be talking to my friends, we be on the phone for a good minute, because that's just how we do. But it don't have to be a long time. You could just talk with someone for about 15 minutes just to tell them how you're doing, how you're feeling. If you want some advice or their opinion on something, a true friend is going to be happy to give that to you. But if you just want to vent, just to get some thoughts and feelings out, call that person today, FaceTime them. Or sometimes, we all be busy. So if y'all got to schedule a time later, a specific time, just reach out a little text and say, hey, you available at so-and-so time? I want to talk to you, just let you know how I've been feeling, what's going on in my life. Like I said, genuine, true friends are going to always be down to hear you vent and see how you're doing. Next thing is, I want you to hire a professional. So yes, we really do need to step up and teach ourselves a lot of stuff. No one is gonna want to really help you if you aren't already doing something to help yourself. Are you listening to podcasts? Are you reading books? Are you testing out budgeting apps to use? Are you actually taking action on the information that you're receiving every day? Are you watching YouTube videos? Are you actually going to in-person or virtual conferences or seminars or workshops to understand how can you level up in managing your money and living a financial lifestyle that you know that you really love, enjoy, and desire, right? So you have to make sure that you are getting a professional. So once you have to always be educating yourself, but there's a time where you actually have to get a professional. Like, you can only do so much on your own. Trust me, y'all. I've been there. I thought I could DIY my whole financial life. And although you can make some movement on your own, you get to a point where you need a professional to push you forward even quicker and more efficiently too, right? So if you need a therapist, if you need a coach, if you need a financial advisor, financial planner, financial therapist, financial coach, like, you need someone that has experience with helping people who are struggling with money. So don't just get any coach or any therapist or just any advisor. No, you get one that has real experience working with clients who are struggling with money the way that you are struggling with money. So ask them those questions, like, what other type of people have you helped? Have you helped anyone like me? And think about whatever your profession is, like whatever you do for a living, ask them, have you worked with anyone that has struggled with money who has my type of job or have my type of lifestyle? That's really helpful when you're trying to find a professional that you can either relate to, or they have experience working with other people in your same situation, successfully has helped other people in that area. And I know sometimes we may feel like, well, I can't afford to pay for a professional right now. Can you afford not to? Whatever you're doing right now, is that helping you? Is that working? Just think about all the things that you spend your money on right now. We say we can't afford certain things, but once we start looking at what we really spending our money on every month, you'll start finding money that you really didn't even think that you had, because it's all going to some other things that really may not be important right now. But that professional that you need to hire is probably a higher priority in your life right now. So before you say, I can't afford it, ask yourself, can I afford not to hire help in this season in my life? Because if you get to December 2022 and you still struggling with the same things, you're going to sit there and do the same thing over and over and over again, asking yourself or telling yourself, I can't afford to hire a professional. Yes, you can. There's too many options out there. Yes, there are professionals who may seem very expensive to you, but then there's also nonprofit organizations out there that have financial coaching that's free. I've seen it because I've worked at nonprofits before. I've volunteered my time at nonprofits before. So if you are someone who are not in a position to pay to hire a financial professional to help you, just Google search local nonprofits in your city who offer financial coaching or financial therapy or financial advising services, and you can get some sessions for free. Because that's what they do. They are a nonprofit. They try to offer services and products to people who need them for free or for really, really, really cheap. So that is a place where you can start. But if you want to take more time and money to really invest in yourself, then search for financial professionals that you can relate to that can help you with your situation, okay? Don't be scared to hire a professional, because my life changed dramatically when I spent money to level up. Let's just keep it real. It costs money to level up your life. Nothing is free. We like to think that it should be, people shouldn't, charge this much money or things should be free, but nothing is free, y'all. Everything costs something. It's either going to cost a lot of money or it's going to cost a lot of your time, or both. But it's worth it. I'm telling y'all, it's worth it. I continue to invest in myself. I still spend money and time and energy investing in myself personally and professionally. Like, it's part of my lifestyle now. It's not that I used to invest in myself. That's why I really want y'all to understand that. Like, you don't just pay for a program or pay for a professional to help you and you're done. No, you're always investing in yourself in some type of way. So I just want to put that out there. So the last thing is joining a community of other people who are trying to level up their life as well. Because for one, that helps with hearing their stories. So when I started getting my financial life together and I started to, talk to other people and I would hear their stories, it was helpful to hear other people's struggles because it reminded me that I wasn't alone. But then you also need to have a community of people who are doing better than you, because you need to see something better to know that better can become in your reality. I used to sit around and be like so sad because I was like, I just don't see that it's possible. I don't know how this is going to happen. But when I started to really deeply connect with other people that were more successful personally and professionally, it gave me hope that I know if they can come out of what they went through and they are this level, I know I can get there too. So you have to connect with people who are struggling just like you, but then you have to connect with people who are smarter than you, more successful than you, have more money than you, because you can learn from them. And there are a lot of people out there that would love to teach and share their knowledge with you for free and for a cost. So you just have to keep that in mind, that you need to connect with people. Don't just stick around the same type of people that you grew up with or the same people that you know right now. Connect with new people. That's the key, y'all. Like, it's good to have those, day ones or those regular people, your regular inner circle, but you still have to make time to meet and connect and learn from new people. You can't underestimate who you can learn from, because we're all forever students and we're always learning. So that is my, hey Frida, hey Mom. I see you can comment now. So I don't know if you made I'm seeing the comments on YouTube here for those listening on audio. But I see you say gamble, Frida. I'm sure that was something you feel that's fun for you to do. But that was the message that I wanted to share with you all today, because like I said, I know there's been some heavy conversations about suicide and about mental health the last couple of weeks, but I want you all to have positive thoughts, have productive thoughts, so we can all help each other win. Individually, we can be excellent. We can be great by ourselves, but as a community, we are so much more powerful, and none of us are perfect, and we never will be. And I always tell people, I don't even want to be perfect with anything. Even though I teach others how to, manage their money well and live financially free, I'm still not perfect, because I still learn something new every day. I am still figuring things out myself, but that's the beauty of it, because we all can share our journeys along the way, and we can all still learn from each other. There's something that that I don't know that could probably help me in my life. It could help me probably personally, or it could probably help me professionally. And the same goes for me. I could probably share something with you that could help you. And I think that's the important thing, is that we just can't, no matter what we've all been through, we just can't underestimate what we can all learn from each other. And I feel like if we all help each other and grow together, life is so much better. Instead of judging each other and having jealousy and envy and, having these negative thoughts, and fighting and arguing, I know this world will never be 100% positive place. I know everybody doesn't get along, but I feel like if we focus our energies on more positive things, then our situations, experiences can become a whole lot better. So just think about that when you're starting to, entertain negative situations or negative thinking. All right. So I appreciate you for joining me for Money Mindset Thursdays, and I will be here again next week live. I'm here every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for the live edition of Financially Free with Cleo podcast. And I want you to do one of those things that I gave you. I'll do a little quick recap. If you are financially stressed, or you're feeling financially depressed and overwhelmed with your finances, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, 4 things that you can do to level up in your money. You can do something for fun so you can take a little break and relax. You can vent to a friend to get that out because it's unhealthy to hold it in. Hire a professional to help you because you cannot keep doing it by yourself, and join a community of other people like you who are struggling with similar things and trying to do better in life, and also a community of people who are doing better than you, so you can see